Where are the best new restaurants in Texas? Turns out Houston and Austin have the most. Sorry, San Antonio and Dallas, but the information comes from a lady who should know. Texas Monthly's longtime restaurant critic, Pat Sharpe. In Austin, home base for Texas Monthly, tops on the list are Salty Sal and Elizabeth Street Cafe. But Sharpe's reach extends far beyond our state capital. You are probably the most powerful food critic in the state of Texas.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, but you're very nice.
Modesty aside, Pat's pen wields a lot of power. For decades, her reviews have influenced where we eat out. It takes a special skill to be able to be what they call a critic, but yet do it in a way that's interesting to the reader and not verbally harmful.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really important not to be mean-spirited and not to take out some gripe that you have in print. And humor goes a long way to softening a criticism, and I think people enjoy it. They like it if you're a little bit funny.
And they like to eat at the hot spots in Pat's columns, especially in Houston. Houstonians lead the country in the number of times they eat out each week. What about the food scene in Houston really excites you?
Houston has, well, they've got such distinct personalities, and I'm trying to find a common thread, but of the restaurants that I liked this year, Underbelly, which is Chris Shepard's place, he is such a spokesman for the local produce and the local ethnic traditions. That's very strong, very distinctive. Oxheart, Justin Yu's place, he's like a jeweler with food. And he has done a lot for vegetables, crazy imagination. Love his stuff too.
As for the Alamo City, according to Pat, all is bliss.
I was so glad that Mark Bliss came back to San Antonio. I love that little place. I like the way it looks. I think he's doing some really imaginative, really progressive food for San Antonio.
Turns out Pat grew up loving to eat out. And after all these years of doing just that, does it still excite you? Is it still fun?
When I walk into a restaurant, I'm thinking, this could be the best meal that I ever had. You know, I mean, of its type. I mean, whether it's a taqueria, you know, whether it's sushi. So I'm always up for restaurants. And I think restaurants have been glamorous for me ever since I was a little girl.
So chefs, how do you start a review on Pat's good side?
There's something called the greeting, just the quality of the welcome that you get, being acknowledged right away.
Pet peeves when you're reviewing a restaurant?
My biggest pet peeve is once I've finished, I want the check, and once I get the check, I want the credit card receipt, and I'm done.
Enough said. Enjoy.